I had just graduated and became a high school homeroom teacher. I heard this class was the most difficult one in the whole school. During class, the students were always eating, drinking, and playing around. When they heard a new teacher was coming, they had already rigged the door handle with electricity. The plan was for me to get electrocuted as soon as I opened the door. But they didn't know I was no ordinary teacher. As they waited for me to get shocked, I kicked the door down with one powerful strike. The force was so strong that all the students were knocked to the ground. Then I walked up to the podium and began introducing myself. Before I could finish, a male student cursed me for not having teacher's ethics. I immediately threw the blackboard eraser into his mouth. Seeing one student being punished, the entire class got angry. They started throwing iron balls at me, but they underestimated my abilities. I casually picked up the physics textbook, waved it a few times, and hit all the iron balls back at them. The class was in chaos with students crawling on the floor, but I didn't plan on letting them off easily. I grabbed dozens of chalk pieces and threw them at the students. After a few rounds of punishment, the whole class was finally subdued. I reintroduced myself. I was a graduate of a military academy. In a school full of elites, I was an invincible existence. Not to mention dealing with these students, I told them, anyone who isn't satisfied can challenge me to a one-on-one fight anytime. When the principal passed by and saw the classroom door broken, he was heartbroken and thought the students did it. But I told him I had kicked the door down. The principal and the vice principal were stunned. Seeing the students all bruised and battered, the vice principal seemed to understand something. He quickly scolded me for going too far, saying there was no way to teach students like that. But I directly warned the entire class in front of him, if anyone dares to act recklessly in my class again, it wouldn't just be a beating next time. The students all shrank back in fear, not daring to speak. Before I walked away, I even asked the vice principal if he wanted to feel my punch. Both the principal and vice principal were too scared to say anything. They had never seen such a fierce female teacher. That day, I came to check if the students were behaving well. Just as I reached the classroom door, there was a huge explosion. A loud bang rang out. I knew the students must have caused trouble again. I rushed in angrily to check. But to my surprise, the chemistry teacher had been blasted into a pitiful state, looking like a beggar. The students were still as rebellious as ever. If they weren't taught a lesson for a few days, they would act up again. It turned out they had a new rich kid in their class. This rich kid could even make bombs. With him backing them up, the entire class had become arrogant again. They even dared me to make a bomb and compare. I thought making a bomb was too boring. If I was going to make something, I'd make a rocket. The students all laughed at me, thinking I was just boasting. The rich kid warned me, if I couldn't make the rocket, I'd have to kneel and apologize and leave the school. I agreed easily, but I said, if I managed to make the rocket, they would have to listen to me and apologize to the chemistry teacher. We reached an agreement and headed out to the school outskirts. I only had a bottle of cola and some tape, and I was about to make a rocket. The students laughed at me, saying I had only made a model, and I had to make it fly to win. But the next second, I lit the rocket, and in front of everyone, it shot into the sky. BBB. Even so, some students were still unconvinced. They made a bomb in the car that only made noise but wouldn't explode, hoping to threaten me